What's going on, guys? My name is Amiss, and this is going to be my entire ranked tier list for R6. We're going to start. Ace is a must pick. Ace is an amazing operator with great utility, and he has an amazing gun. Amaru, bad. Don't pick her. Usually when you play Amaru, you're just going to be rushing to a window without droning, because her whole ability is about rushing right into sight. She's just not good. Don't play her. Alibi's bottom tier. She's just not that good. Her gun's pretty good, but she does not bring a lot to the team. Sure, you can get a ping or two with her ability, but all around doesn't do much. Ash is top tier. Ash, you get 3 breaching charges and 3 breaching rounds with her gadget and a good gun. Overrated gun, but still a good gun, and she has underrated utility. She gives so much utility to the team. Bandit's middle tier. Bandit can stop. He can bandit trick. He can stop hard breachers from getting walls, which is really nice, but Mute and Kai just do it better. Blackbeard's bottom tier. He needs a buff desperately. Blackbeard has paper in front of his face, and sure he can cheat out 1 or 2 bullets, but it's not enough for him to be a viable pick. Blitz is bad. Don't pick Blitz. He's not good. Teams will play together. You'll be shot from both angles, because teams are going to set up crossfires, and Blitz is just going to get slammed because he doesn't have a gun. He has a shield in his face. Buck's top tier. He can get vertical from below, which is really nice. His gun is still really good. Both of his primaries are really good. He's still a viable pick all around. I would like to see a buff to Buck, but he is still a good operator. Capitao is a must-pick operator. Capitao has firebolt, he has smokes, he has 2 amazing guns, so he cuts off rotations, he can smoke for plant, and he has just 2 amazing guns. He's a great operator. Castle's top tier. Castle's a really underrated operator. He has the super shorty to make rotations, and his ability will cut off rotations. His ability will stop you from getting pre-fired from that random barricade. He's a really good operator. If you want to see how you should play him, go watch some Pro League. Cavi's bad. Don't pick her. Teams are playing together. You're not going to get an interrogation off. Her pistol's underpowered. Let's say you do get the downing and you do go to get the interrogation. Bam, you're shot while you're doing it because his whole team is running to you. Or they're close enough that they can just shoot you. Clash is mid-tier. Clash can do good, but she does have a shield in her face, so she does put your team in a 4v5 because she's kind of like a human drone, but all around really frustrating to play against. Still an okay operator, but there's just better people to play. Doc's middle tier. Sure, he can heal people, which is selected to only him on the defenders, but if he dies, all of his utility's gone. His MP5 lost its ACOG and only has 1.5x, which does hurt his gun's utility. But he needs a buff in my opinion. Please bring back Doc ACOG. Dokubi's an amazing operator for roam clear. Dokubi, 2 calls. Her DMR's really good. She has 2 amazing secondaries. She's a good operator. Echo's middle tier. The reason Echo's middle tier is because he lost his camouflage and you can just shoot his drone, which really does take away from the frustration of playing against an Echo. But a lot of people will play Echo like Valkyrie. Let's put the cam up somewhere, let it sit, give comms. The problem is that bam, it's shot dead because it's so big and bulky. And they're not using it to deny plants. So how you have to play Echoes, you have to hide Echoes, like maybe on top of a car or under the car or something. You can't just put it on the ceiling and expect it not to be shot. Ella's bottom tier. Her gadget isn't that menacing. Her Scorpion's recoil is horrible. Her shotgun is only good in certain situations. She's just not good. Finka's bad. Don't pick her. Finka's not good. Finka will just hurt your team because people will pull down too hard when you pop her ability, because her ability reduces recoil, which will cause people to miss headshots, which will cause them to get headshotted, and then bam, they're dead. Also, it can revive people, which is a plus, but they come up with 5 health and they're just a piece of paper at that point. Frost is bad. Don't pick her. Frost people are just going to shoot it the moment they hop in the window, and you just won't do anything unless you are sitting right next to that window waiting for them to jump in to get the jump. You're not going to do anything. Fuse is middle tier. The reason Fuse is middle tier, I think Fuse is really underrated. I think he has an amazing gadget. I think he has the best attacking gun in the entire game, which is the AK, but Fuse's ability is random. You can't choose where it goes. It just goes all over the place. So it sometimes will not get the utility you want it to get, which hurts him. Glass is bad. Just don't pick Glass. You get a thermal scope that only is thermal if you're standing still, and standing still will kill you in Siege. And he gets smokes that he can see through if standing still. There's too much steps, too much loops to jump through with him. He's just not good. Goyo goes to bottom tier, mainly because Goyo only has 2 shields now. Sure, you can play them offensively and defensively. You can play around them, but he just doesn't get enough. he has good utility, he has a good gadget, he has 2 amazing guns, but it's just not enough. There's just better operators. Gridlock. Gridlock's middle tier. Gridlock can be a good operator if there isn't a nomad on the board. She's really good for cutting off rotations. Her super shorty will help her get access down hatches. She gets smoke for plan. I think Gridlock's underrated. Actually, I'm putting Gridlock in top tier. Gridlock is an amazing operator. She's really underrated. People should play her more. The problem is she's shadowed. She's in nomad shadow. Smoke. Smoke is a must pick. Smoke gets a shotgun SMG-11, which is the arguably the best secondary in the game. He gets a shield, which is really, really nice. And he gets smokes. His smokes cut off plant for, I believe, 15 seconds at a time. So let's say you have 30 seconds left and you have 3 smokes, you're golden. Habana. Habana goes to middle tier, mainly because she's overshadowed by the other 4 hard breachers. Yeah, she did get a rework where she can pick how many pellets she shoots out at a time, but it's just not enough for Habana. Habana is always going to be overshadowed by her other 3 competitors if she does not get a rework. Ayana. Ayana's middle tier, mainly because, sure, you can play refrags off of her drone, and she does get a human drone. The cooldown on it is atrocious. The cooldown is so long. And all around, you just don't get enough utility for her. There's better operators to bring. The best utility Ayana gives you is 2 frag grenades. I said what I said. IQ's middle tier. She has a really good gun with her G8. She has a really good, all 3 of her primaries are just really fucking good. But you are banking on the defenders bringing electromagnetic devices. And yes, most of the time they will. What are they going to bring? They're going to bring a Maluzi that's bulletproof. They're going to bring a Maestro that's bulletproof. All around, there's not a lot you can do off of IQ. She just doesn't do enough. A drone can do her job. Jackal. Jackal is a must pick. Jackal is an amazing attacker. The best roam clearer in the entire game. He scans their footprints, and you are screwed if you are playing against a decent 5-stack who knows how to pinch correctly. Jaeger. Jaeger catches grenades. It's really nice for Jaeger. I personally see his new rework as a buff because he can catch a grenade and then 10 seconds later he can catch another one. Which means Jaeger always has an effect on the round. So there's no burning Jaegers anymore because they're on a cooldown. And he gets 3. You know how much area of effect that 3 of those things can do? 2 can cover a whole site and then 1 can help him on wherever he's roaming. Kaid. Kaid is top tier. Kaid can get hatches, he's the only one who can do that. He can get 3 walls, which is really nice for bomb sites where the main wall is 3, kind of like a villa on statue. Callie. Callie goes to top tier mainly because you're only going to play Callie if there's not a thatch on the board, but when there's not that thatch on the board, Callie is really useful and she's really nice. Her gun, though, is really underwhelming. Her gun has got a nerf recently, which really does hurt her, but she makes up for it in her utility. Capcan. Capcan's bottom tier. If your enemy team has eyes and they're not brain dead, they're just gonna shoot the Capcans. Bam, there's Capcan's utility out the window. He doesn't have good guns. His guns suck. Legion. The problem I see with Legions nowadays is they're not calling out. They're expecting their team to hear where the Legion goes off and play off the sound cue. No. You call out where the Legion was off of where you heard it from, so people will know. Legion can't see his Legions through walls anymore, which hurts him. His Legions don't have impact damage which hurts him. The damage they deal if stuck in the foot went from 10 to I believe 5, which hurts him. He's just received nerf after nerf. Lion. Lion is middle tier, mainly because Lion makes an opponent stand still for 3 seconds. Do you know how long 3 seconds is in Siege? 3 seconds is so long. But if your team isn't playing correctly off of him and you're not pinching correctly, you're not going to do anything. You're not going to get any utility off him, and he just won't be good. Maestro's top tier. The Alda is still a menace without the ACOG. 81 bullets. You just hold down a point yourself. His bulletproof cams are really nice, but the problem is I would put him in the must pick, but there's so much explosive utility coming to the attackers nowadays that he just doesn't. His ability just gets taken out so easily now. Maverick's middle tier. The reason Maverick is middle tier is because he gets overshadowed by Ace and Thermite. Sure, he can get a wall that is electrified, but then he needs a soft breacher to come help him to open the wall. And not only that, say you don't have a soft breacher. Say you're just opening the wall with Maverick. It's just the hole is so small, it's so hard to play around. Maluzi's bottom tier, mainly because her MP5 is just so bad, it hurts. And her gadget isn't that menacing anymore, mainly because I can just Sophia charge it, Ash charge it. It's not as menacing as what it was when it first came out. Mira's top tier mainly because Mira can be played on certain sites and just be an absolute menace to society. But the problem is she's only good on certain sites. If you're not playing her on the right side, she's not going to be good. So she's more of a situational operator, but when played correctly, she's top tier. Monty goes in the same thing as Clash. Monty has the same problem. Shield in his face, that's not a gun, that's a shield. You're basically a walking drone. Sure, he has smokes, which is really nice, but again, doesn't have a gun. Mozzie goes to middle tier mainly because Mozzie has 2 amazing primaries. Sure, he catches 3 drones, which he can control, but all around, Mute does his job better. Mute is a top tier operator. He can get walls, he can stop drones, he has a shotgun, the SMG-11. The SMG-11 being the best secondary in the entire game, and arguably the best. He arguably has the best shotgun in the game. Mute is all around a must-pick, amazing operator. Nock's bottom tier. She's just not good. If she does get the rework where she's immune to Maluzis, Capcans, Ellas, then she will be a top tier operator. But because she doesn't have that, she's bottom tier. She's just not good. Her gun's a little underwhelming. Ying is top tier. You cannot change my mind. Ying's gun is amazing. Her utility is amazing. She has smokes, which is even more to her utility to cover plants. She's so good, so underrated. I would love to see Ying play more. Not against me though. Nomad is a must pick. Nomad cuts off rotation. She does what Gridlock does, and does it even better. She cuts off rotation. She has 2 amazing primaries, and her secondary has a little ACOG, so it's really nice for hitting clips, not gonna lie. But Nomad's a great operator. Nomad, player on any attacking round, she'll always be good. Oryx is bad, don't pick him. You're gonna hurt him making rotations when you can just use a shotgun. Sure, he got Legion's primary, but that's still not enough. He gets the Bailiff shotgun pistol to make rotations, but all around, why does he need that when he can just run into them? Pulse is middle tier mainly because Pulse can only play on a site where there's a destructible floor, and that's not on every site. The ump is a little underwhelming on Pulse, personally, but still viable. Pulse, you just don't get enough utility. You get a Nitro. Valkyrie does his job better. Who else we got here? We got Rook. Rook is bottom tier mainly because I feel like when I wear a plate, I personally feel I go down faster. I don't know what it is, but I feel obligated to grab the plate if somebody plays Rook. But he's just not good. He did keep a 2x on his MP5, which is nice, but you're playing Rook to spawn peek at that point. Sledge is top tier. Sledge is a must-pick operator. 25 hits with a hammer, along with frag grenades. It's so amazing. And then he has the SMG-11 as a secondary, the best secondary in the game, in my opinion, along with the L8, which is a amazing gun. It did keep his ACOG, or you can run a 1.5 on it. That's the ultra chunk. I ain't gonna worry about that. Now we have Thatcher. Thatcher's a must-pick. Thatcher clears everything electronic based on the defenders. He doesn't destroy them anymore. He disables them, but that disable is enough time for you to muster a push, for you to get in there and do what you got to do and get your frags and get that plant down. And he gets 3. Do you know how powerful this operator? This is why this operator is always banned when you're playing, because he's just that good. Thermite's top tier still. Thermite, you get his utility, decent gun. There's not much to say. Bread and butter right here, guys. Bread and butter. Twitch is middle tier. I think Twitch drone could see a buff, but all around, Twitch, in my opinion, is underrated for her utility, because I can walk into sight. If my drone isn't detected, I can get mutes, I can get Jaegers, I can get Kaids, I can get bandits. She can get so much. The problem is her drone is so bulky and can get shot. But if you can sneak in there, you get a lot. Valk, 3 cams, C4. I don't need to say more. Amazing operator. Vigil, the perfect roamer. Cannot be seen by drones. That's what you want. If they don't know where you are, they're not going to have a fun time playing you, because you can move around and they're going to think you're one spot, but you're obviously going to be in another, and you just shoot them in the back. It's easy pickings. Wamai's middle tier mainly because Wamai lost his shield, which is crippling. But he can't catch grenades, which is only him and Jaeger who can do that. So he does redeem himself. He has 2 decent primaries, but all around overshadowed by Jaeger. I don't see him a lot since he's lost his shield. Warden's bottom tier, mainly because too situational. You know, I personally would love to see people play Warden as a roamer. Roam with this operator. If you roam with this operator, you cannot get flashed out, which is super nice, because they're going to try to flash you and push. If you anchor with him and they try to smoke plant, you're useful. The problem is, if he dies, he does nothing for the team. He gets no utility down. He's He has the same problems that like Nock has, where if Nock dies, she does nothing. Oryx, if he dies, Glaz, like if they die, they just don't do anything. They have no impact. Sophia. Sophia's middle tier. She has okay utility. Ash has more destructive utility than what she does. She gets 2 concussions, 2 impacts, and an amazing gun, but there's just better operators. Zero's bad, don't pick him. He gets 4 cams. They're usually shot before you can even go on them, and his 2 guns are very underwhelming. Aruni's top tier. She's really good. She's really good. Really nice operator. Has great utility, especially when it comes down to the last 30 seconds of a round. If you can reactivate her gate, that is crippling to the attackers, because they've probably already wasted flashbangs, smokes to clear them out in the first place. Now we have Tachanka. Tachanka's middle tier. He kind of has what Smoke does, where he can cut off rotations, but all around I haven't seen people use it properly. Tachanka could be the next Smoke if played properly and used properly, but I don't see him played properly. Recruit's not ranked anymore. Recruit would just be bad. Don't pick him. The new operator, with his explosive drones, I don't know where to put him. I haven't seen him play in Pro League. I haven't seen him play in ranked all too much. I don't know where I would put him. If I had to pick somewhere, I'd probably put him in middle tier or bottom tier. It just depends on how he's played. If you did enjoy this video,